One back at you to continue the discussion on process improvement. Another method out there, especially in the lean world, is 5S. So 5S is a relatively simple method to capture improvements in the workplace. They can be single projects, or they can be tied to a larger project. 5S can sometimes just be a part of Kaizen event even. In Six Sigma world, it could be a part of the review of improvements, because 5S can help organize and structure our workplace. That can both help in the lean world with removing waste and unnecessary stuff in the workplace, as well as ensure that the workplace is in a way that deficiencies, defects will be lowered. So 5S is a method that can be used across the board to look at how you can improve your workplace. A lot of 5S projects that I've worked on and seen have been in the warehouse world, supply. But I used 5S methods back in the day when I worked in the post office, because it's a good way of just getting rid of clutter and unnecessary stuff in the workplace, and just making it more organized and more efficient. All right. Now, the important thing for 5S is to have pictures. You need to be able to capture what the situation looks like. How does the workplace look right now? That gives you an idea as to why I want to improve upon it using a 5S method. Before state, so to speak. And then when you are going through the 5S's, you can take pictures of each S so you can see progress. You can see how it looks after the fact. And having worked well over 100 5S projects in the last several years, I've lost track, probably close to 200 in the last 8 years. You will see a big improvement if the 5S is done the right way. I've seen it where 5S's are treated more as a beautification tool, but that's really not the way that it is intended to be. All right. So getting into the first S is sort. You want to make sure that you have what you need in the workplace. What do you need? That's the thing. Efficiency, lean, not having a whole bunch of clutter. All right, so you organize the workplace and you set up what you need to be successful. And the second one is set in order, which set in order simply means that you have those items where they need to be. All right, so a lot of times you'll see some 5S projects are, you'll see a wall of tools in the workplace, and those tools are organized exactly where they need to be. And in some cases, companies and employees will actually mark what tool is supposed to be there. So they'll put an outline of the tool. So you'll see a space there. So you know that tool has to go back there, right? So they've organized that wall of tools for what they need, where everything needs to be. Same can be in drawers. Same can be in a work floor, that you've got everything organized, all your equipment, material, what it may be on the work floor, organized where it needs to be. All right, and you can have even that outlined on the floor. I've seen that, and I've done it myself in the past. The third S is shine. So you need to make sure that everything is neat. So you organized everything, you have everything in its place. You need to keep it clean, right? It needs to be organized at all times. That's kind of the point of a 5S. When you put it together, you need to make sure that it stays clean and organized at all times. All right. So the fourth S is standardization. So you want to standardize what you are doing, which kind of goes into the fifth S is sustained. So you want to have something in place for the employees to follow to ensure that what you sorted what you put in order in the workplace and what you're keeping clean and organized um, continues, right? So you want to have a set standard in place that will be utilized and sustained for the long term. Because the 5S project, just like all process improvement projects, should not really be short term. It should be long term. You want it to last because you're putting effort into making something efficient in the workplace. It should last. Even if you leave and other employees come in to play, that they know what's going on. Oftentimes you'll have people leave and the new team comes in, they have no idea what's going on because there's nothing put in place. There's no standard, there's no process for them to follow. That's why processes are important. Standards are important. All right. So 6S is a relatively simple method to use to capture improvements. Each business may have different ways of capturing it. 5S slides are out there. You can Google 5S to get an idea for a template to capture those improvements. But pictures are important. You want before and after pictures, a summary of what you did in the workplace for each of those S's, and that's your 5S. Just make sure that it's maintained for the long term. That last one, sustain, is oftentimes the most difficult one, but it's the most important one. I've seen a lot of process improvements go south. They go back to the way they were. Oftentimes it's because you have a new team. You have new employees. You have a new leader come in. That's why that standard, that document, is important to maintain it. All right. So that's just a quick rundown of 5S, and I hope it helps.